Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a new Blacklist Season 10 video. And this one is jam-packed. It's a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of lively debate. So if you are sitting at your computer, if you're sitting on get ready to type in the comment. I don't know if you're typing like that. That just seems like you're banging on the keys, but you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. But before we get into this, if you are new to the channel, this is Matt. I'm Jess. My friends call me Bun Bun. You guys can call me Bun Bun. And if you want to know why, head over to our Instagram,
Yeah.
Matt and Jess TV. But also hit that subscribe button. We are here every single Friday talking about the Blacklist.
Yeah.
It is not coming back until February 26th, but that is not going to stop us from talking about it every week. So hit that subscribe button.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do here. If you guys know or do not know, throughout the past many weeks, because it's been a long time since
Oh,
the end
yeah.
of season 9, we have gone through and watched every single episode of season 1. We've talked about it with you guys, and one of the big
Mhm.
things we've sort of gone over in some of those is who could come back. Like, we know season 10 is full of nostalgia. Wu
Mhm.
Jing's got the Marvin list. He's,
Mhm.
he's in charge of it moving forward. So, who else from this season could theoretically kind of come back into the full dot?
Yeah, we've gone through the whole season. We went through who's alive, who's dead. Most of these people are dead. So the list isn't that long, but there are some really notable people on this list that would have a pretty serious problem with Red working with the FBI. And the person who is at the top of my list, who is still alive, who is still out there, who would be so mad about this is Madeline Pratt. And they had a very intimate relationship. They have known each other for a very long time,
Yeah.
very intimately. They have had their criminal cat and mouse game back and forth. But I don't want her to find out about it and then just come back and be like, more cat and mouse. This is like a real betrayal. I want to see her guns blazing, kick through the door. Yo, what's good, Red? We're gonna go. We got something to talk about. Your FBI? I have a real problem with that. That's what I want to see. I want to see like a really raw, visceral reaction to this type of a betrayal because he's betrayed her a lot. She's betrayed him a lot, but not like this.
The thing I think that makes this the most interesting, at least to me, is the pre-existing relationship that is there, the dynamic that is between them. And, if you guys even remember back when we discussed the Madeline Pratt episode, like, one of the things we went over there is that it seems, per a lot of scuttlebutt online, that they have wanted to bring back Madeline Pratt in the past, and that, in some ways the character Cassandra sort of came up because they couldn't get Madeline Pratt, presumably, back. Maybe this actress, Jennifer L. I apologize to Jennifer and to every other actor we're going to discuss in this video. If I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to,
Yep.
but people are busy, and we did our research in this video trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out, could this person come back. Jennifer, she is a part of 1923, which is
Mm-hmm.
that upcoming Yellowstone prequel. We're also covering Yellowstone on the channel, but it's
Mm-hmm.
premiering on Paramount Plus a little bit later this year.
Yep.
But just because she's on that doesn't mean that she can't turn up here at some point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not expecting that everyone that's coming back because I know we're gonna see blacklisters for throughout the seasons.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole purpose of the list that Wu Jing has is to go through all the people that don't know that Reddington was working with the task force
Mhm.
and everybody gonna be mad. So we are going to see people coming back. It just makes sense for her to come back. And it doesn't have to be for like a huge arc. So if she's working over on 1923, she can come back for an episode to have, that guns a blazing, kick through the door moment that I'm hoping for.
All right, so let's get into this person who I, most want to see back, but, logically it may not make as much sense. But since when have I ever thought in terms of logic here on this channel? Like, there's a time I tried to call myself Lord Garbage. That tells you guys how logical I am. So, Gina Xanatakos, she is such a chaotic character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she has shown up a little bit here and there. Like, she was in season 1, she turns up a little bit later. She is somebody who has a lot of ability when it comes to do violent, really terrible things. I think she would be a total loose cannon if she kind of re-entered the fray at this particular point.
Mhm.
However, there's a couple little problems with this that I have to acknowledge. One of them is like so much of her history is tied with Tom. And it's like, okay, are you guys going to bring back somebody who is so like Tom adjacent when Tom has been dead, for years on end? This isn't like Madeline Pratt where you said she's got a history with Reddington. Like on paper, that makes a lot more sense than it does with Gina.
Absolutely. But I still think, like you said, she's a bit of a wild card. She's probably going to be really mad that he's been working with the FBI. I think that this whole situation of him working with the FBI being exposed is just going to really crumble his whole life. And criminals are going to be mad. It is one thing to betray a criminal by doing other criminal nonsense, but it's another thing to be like, I'm working with the FBI. I'm telling. Like, it just doesn't work out that way. I'm not saying that Red's a snitch or anything like that, but he's absolutely working with the task force to tell information to get what he wants to move forward, either what was going on with Liz or his empire.
All right, here's the other bad news, everybody. And this makes me sad because it makes me acknowledge that this is probably not going to happen. Margarita, the actress who plays Gina, I'm not even going to try the last name here. She is very busy. She's got a guest starring role in The Acolyte, which is like an upcoming Star Wars series. And just earlier this week, like this is still new, hot off the press news, she's going to be on Daredevil Born Again, which is the new Daredevil show on Disney Plus, as like a possible love interest. You know what the budget is for the Blacklist at this point? My shirt. That is about what the Blacklist can afford when it comes to break. Like, are they really going to be able to, number one, have the opening in her schedule, and number two, give the amount of money necessary to bring back somebody who is currently going to be in the MCU, which has more money than God? Like, how is this going to happen?
Okay, let's talk about the freelancer. So, this person is alive. They're in prison. We've seen them on the show twice now.
Yeah.
And, can we see them again? Sure. The fact that we've seen them multiple times already, yeah, there's a possibility that we're going to see him again. The actor, Daniel, last name I think is pronounced Solly. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, Daniel. I really
Yeah,
am. It looks like he is not doing a lot right now, so he may be open to coming back. We could see him. I just don't know how exciting that would be.
yeah, that's kind of the problem, is that I think with a lot of these blacklisters, like the question is like, number one, what are they capable of? And obviously the freelancer's capable of a lot, but it's like, number two, what can they bring us that we haven't seen already? And it's sort of like, I feel like we've already seen the freelancer sort of at the peak of his powers. I think him coming back amidst the whole Liz arc before Liz left, I think that is sort of a fitting tie-in. I don't think you need to just sort of be like, here's the parade of season 1 Blacklister. You don't need to do that. I think you can find better reasons to bring people on board.
Absolutely, like the judge. Does anyone remember the judge? So she is alive. She is in prison. She basically turned herself in after talking to Red because she was like, "Yeah, I've been judging other people and of their crimes, and here's my crime. Take me off to prison." She's not coming back. She doesn't have any reason to come back.
Guilty. That's
I
Yeah,
know.
that's the only thing I think of when it comes to the judge. I did not like this episode. I could care less if we ever see this character again. I'm sure some of you probably feel that way, and those of you who don't are probably just sitting here being like, who? Because you have not watched season 1 in a long time and you do not remember this character.
Well, here's the thing is there's a lot of people that are in prison, like
Well,
the
yeah.
freelancers in prison, the judge is in prison, General Ludd is in prison, the leader of the Cypress agency, they also are in prison. Like, it's kind of like if there's going to be a situation where the people who are alive from season 1 that are all in prison,
Yeah.
how are they really going to kind of deal with this? Now, we saw everything that happened with Marvin and Wu Jing getting out and all that. Could he have some sort of influence to get other people out? I don't know. It's hard to know how much of Wu Jing's organization is still around. I mean, he had a pretty pop-in organization when we first met him.
He
But it's been a while, so those people might have been like, "I need to put food on my table, so I'm gonna go
Yeah.
work for Criminal X."
Well, let's even try to give Wu Jing the benefit of the doubt here, and let's just be like, okay, obviously Wu Jing, you're capable of bringing people back together. You're charismatic. Like maybe you can
Mhm.
pull that off. At the same time, he's going to be strategic about who he really wants to go after and who he thinks could actually help him in his pursuit of Reddington. Like you think specifically about, the head of the Cypress agency, Owen, Michael Shaw, whatever you want to call him. Man's got multiple names. But like what's the benefit of getting a guy like him out there when like his specific MO was related to adoption and some really just creepy stuff, but it's just like there's nothing that he is going to do to Reddington that like some other criminal from another season could do better.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna find out Reddington's FBI and be like, "How dare you?" Like, there was no deeper connection. That's why really the people from season 1 that I think we're gonna see or have a very good chance of is Madeline, Gina, and maybe the freelancer.
Yeah, that is the fair conclusion to all of this other sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
I think we also have to be like a little bit realistic in that, yeah, there's a lot of us nostalgia Blacklister fans out there.
Yes.
But there's also probably some people who haven't watched the early seasons in a long time. It's sort of like when you watch an all-star season of a reality show and you're like, why is there 5 people on this season from like the season 2 years ago? And it's like, oh, because people have short attention spans and those are the people they remember.
Yeah, but the Blacklist is pretty good at reminding people who people are. Like when they brought back the freelancer, they were really good at, hey, if you haven't seen the show in a while, you don't remember the freelancer, we're going to kind of give you a little bit of a wrap up. They're pretty good about that. And I think with Wu Jing being sort of the narrator of this whole revenge list, I think there will be some discussions there where maybe Wu Jing's going to go up to whoever and be like, "Hey, by the way, this has happened to you. This is what's happening with Reddington. This is why this has all happened." And that person can be like, "Oh, yeah, well, this happened to me and it happened because of Reddington ABC." And that will explain it to us pretty quickly to be like, "Oh, right, I don't remember this. Now I do."
Well, hopefully throughout this video, you guys have already been feverishly typing away the people you want to see back on season 10, because, if you haven't, what are you waiting for now? We are near the end of this, so go ahead, type that. Let us know who you want back.
Yeah, and hit that subscribe button. We are here every Friday talking about the Blacklist.
All right, well, thank you guys so much. We'll see you here next time.